What does Jim Carrey have to say about Jesus painting and faith? Let's find out.
The energy that surrounds Jesus is electric. I don't know if Jesus is real. I don't know if he lived. I don't know what he means, but the paintings of Jesus are really my desire to convey Christ consciousness. I wanted you to have the feeling when you looked in his eyes that he was accepting of who you are. I wanted him to be able to stare at you and heal you from the painting. You can find every race in the face of Jesus. And I think that's how every race imagines Jesus. They imagine him as their own.
And ultimately, I believe that suffering leads to salvation. And in fact, it's the only way. That we have to somehow accept, not deny, but feel our suffering and feel our losses, and then we make one of two decisions. We either decide to go through the gate of resentment, which leads to vengeance, which leads to self-harm, which leads to harm to others, or we go through the gate of forgiveness, which leads to grace. And your being here is an indication that you've made that decision already. You've made the decision to walk through the gate of forgiveness to grace, just as Christ did on the cross. He suffered terribly, and he was broken by it to the point of doubt and a feeling of absolute abandonment, which all of you felt. And then there was a decision to be made. And the decision was to look upon the people who were causing that suffering, or the situation that was causing that suffering, with compassion and with forgiveness. And that's what opens the gates of heaven for all of us. So I wish that for all of you. I wish that for myself. I know that, no matter what I've suffered, most of you have suffered worse than that. But that's why I admire you, because you're here, and you will have grace, because this decision has been made. So I'm so glad to be with you and to be a part of this. Thank you, Father Greg. Thank you, John.
It really has. I've always wondered about certain things, certain ideas surrounding Jesus. One of which was like a puzzlement to me since I was a little kid, and that was when they say Jesus freed the world from sin. I thought, what does that mean? He freed the world from sin. And I never really got it. I thought, have you freed the world from sin? I'm still sinning. I mean, I can sin some more, I can sin all I want, I can do anything I want. Boobies, Jesus freed me. I can do that. No, I think, so what happened eventually was I was in a moment of despair, no doubt, questioning everything. I do that from time to time, kind of get a little tumultuous in my head and have a little war, have little adversaries that fight it out. And one day it occurred to me that the adversaries in my head were the only thing keeping me from peace. And I started to let them go one by one. I consciously, as they entered my head, went, is this real? Do I even know this person? Sometimes you don't. You don't know your adversaries. You've never met them. You create these wars. And I started to let them go. And I suddenly realized what that statement meant, at least what it means for me, is that he freed the world from sin from his perspective. It's up to each one of us to free the world from sin from our point of view. And with that comes freedom. And you got to keep doing it because they keep entering. But But that was a really wonderful kind of transcendent moment for me. And it keeps me in a place where, there's not a gigantic army of people building up at any one time. I can let them go as they come. And life is a lot more fun this way. But what else? I mean, I don't want to be presumptuous, but the meaning of life? You want to know what it is? Love yourself. That's it. Love yourself. That's what I think it is. Just love yourself. And be visible, no matter what the risk. Be honest. And it's wonderful this night because it really gives us all a chance to kind of get real for.
I really loved hearing his perspective. I think he's wrong about the meaning of life. I think the meaning of life is to love the Lord your God with all of your heart, your mind, and your soul, and to love others more than yourself. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that we don't need to love ourselves. I think in doing those things, we learn to love ourselves. I don't think that we need to be a doormat. I know that's going to spark a lot of controversy. I'm just saying that the greatest of these is love, and that's what the Bible tells us. I loved this one. I thought it was pretty cool. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to hit the like button, and I will see you next time.